Hello and good morning. Thank you everybody for joining us today for our remodeling marketing webinar. My name is Rich Harshaw and I'm the founder and CEO of Monopolize Your Marketplace, and we're here obviously today to talk about home shows and events. It's a timely topic because most of you, probably especially those who showed up for this event, will be holding home shows in the early part of next year. So it's a great time to be planning and thinking about it. And I'm going to share with you some strategies today. You know, I don't know how many of you have been with me before, been on these webinars before. It's a series. We do one about every other month. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? I don't want to over promote too much, but I'm going to tell you this. The stuff we're going to talk about today almost always works no matter what. You have to really try hard to mess this up. Now, let me contrast that against some other kinds of things that we do. We work with a lot of remodeling companies. We do lots of marketing things, internet things, web things, mailing things, advertising things. And with most marketing things, there are lots and lots of things, lots of elements that will influence the ultimate results. Market conditions, competitor conditions, whether or not our clients actually do the right things at the right time kinds of elements, and all these things can have effects. And we all know this, right? I mean, it's marketing. It's not a crystal ball kind of a thing, but I'm telling you, this is as close to a crystal ball as anything I will ever share with you. If you listen to me carefully today, and if you implement the things that we're going to talk about today, this makes a massive, massive difference. I hate to talk about the results because some of the results are so ridiculous that people don't even believe it. When we start talking about 10 times the normal home show results, people don't believe it. It sounds like hyperbole. It sounds like fluff. So, you know, we'd like to talk about it, but people just don't believe it. So here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through some stuff. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to go into it in a lot of detail on it. I'm going to show you extraordinarily specific case studies, and at the end of it, you're going to be left to make a decision. Do I believe it, and do I want to use it, or do I want to just keep doing what I used to do? So that's how we're going to proceed here today. This is kind of a big deal, so I'm glad that you could be with me. Let me just go ahead and make a couple of changes on the webinar settings so that we can mute out some noise. And okay, I think we're good. We're going to go ahead and get started. First things first, stay to the end of the webinar. I'll give you a free CD program called The 5 Biggest Marketing Mistakes. And this is a fantastic CD. We normally sell it for $99 for being on the webinar. If you'll stick around, pay attention, take some notes, I'll go ahead and get this out to you. So I appreciate you being on the webinar today. First thing I really want to do is say thank you to our sponsors. You're going to have a chance to hear from most of them today. Without these sponsors, there is no webinar. So I would strongly encourage you, whatever sponsor it was that invited you to this webinar today, if you find value in the webinar, and I promise you, you will, do me a favor and do the sponsors a favor. Just reach out to them via email, shoot them a quick note, just spend about 10 or 20 seconds to say, hey, thanks, I really appreciate you inviting me to this webinar. I found it to be valuable. Let them know that the money that they spend sponsoring events like this really does make a difference for you in your business, okay? So we're going to hear from some of these folks. In fact, we're going to hear from a few of them right now as we get started, and then as we get going and we get into the middle part of the webinar, we'll take a break and we'll hear from a few more. So let's go ahead and by quick name, we've got Gutter Covers International, Bath Wraps by Leonard Direct, Market Sharp, First General Services, Qualified Remodeler, and Guild Quality. And we'll go ahead and hear from, let's see who we're going to hear from first today. Okay, Qualified Remodeler. And actually, I don't believe that we've got Qualified Remodeler on with us as a speaker. So I'll just give you my quick take on Qualified Remodeler. Obviously, they're the premier magazine in the industry serving interior and exterior remodelers. I had the privilege of speaking at their Top 500 event last month in October on the 16th in Chicago. Fantastic organization, first class all the way, great information in the magazines. If you're not a subscriber, go to their website, get signed up right away. I am a regular blogger and columnist for their website and their magazine, respectively. I have a lot of respect for this organization. I've been working with them now for about 7 or 8 years, and I can't recommend them highly enough. So thank you, Qualified Remodeler, for supporting this event. Next is Liners Direct, Bath Wraps by Liners Direct. This is another company I've been involved with for well over 6 or 7 years, since I really heavily got involved in this industry in about 2005. And I believe we've got Nicolette on the line with us. Nicolette, are you there?
I'm here.
Nicolette is a representative from Bath Wraps by Liners Direct, and she's going to take just a minute and tell us a little bit about Liners Direct. Go ahead, Nicolette.
All right, thank you for the opportunity to introduce Bath Wraps. My name is Nicolette Ierzik, and I'm the marketing analyst stepping in today for Dave Wilson. He's our marketing director for the Bath Wraps at Liners Direct. Bath Wraps is the leader in one-day bath remodeling projects such as tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in bathtubs, and traditional tub systems. We offer our dealer network exclusive territories, business owner boot camp training to launch bath products, outstanding in-field sales, and installation training and support. I've had sales tools including our exclusive Build-A-Bath design app, which is available for free at the iTunes Store, and exclusive leads generated by headquarters marketing. Your potential profit and growth opportunities are truly unlimited as you tap into an enormous market of $4,000 to $20,000 projects. Our focus on your success really comes down to launching, supporting, and generating exclusive leads in your exclusive territory. You can learn more and download our Market Smart Business System brochure at www.linersdirect.com/dealer, or feel free to email me at Nicolette, it's Nicolette, @linersdirect.com. Thanks, Rich, and we appreciate being able to support your marketing content.
Thanks, Nicolette. I appreciate that. Just a couple of quick words. Number one, I'm going to put a poll on the screen at the end of this webinar that's going to give you an opportunity to choose any sponsors that you're interested in learning more about. So that's another way that you can contact Liners Direct or any of the other sponsors that will be with us today. So if you'll hang out with me till the very end of the webinar, that's when I'll give you that poll. All you need to do is click on Liners Direct, Market Sharp, Guild Quality, any of our sponsors, and they will be in touch with you because we'll record that and they'll know. Also, you can see on the screen. Now, one last thing before I let Nicolette go. I want to emphasize how unusual and awesome it is what this company does. Look, there's lots of companies that sell different kinds of bath remodeling and liners that you could be affiliated with, but this company generates leads on their own nickel and then sells them to their dealers at a very reasonable cost. Nicolette, what is the cost per lead? I can't remember. $75 per lead. Now, here's the deal. You don't have to buy them if you don't want to, but if you do want to buy them, there's as many as you want available at $75 each, and go run 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 of them, see how they work out. Their average dealer's coming in at about a 9% lead cost on those leads relative to sales. So unbelievable company in terms of marketing support. Not seen anything like it in the industry. So make sure you find out more about these folks, okay? Next, let's go to First General Services. And I've got Michael Flatt with us on the line. And Michael, you should be unmuted now. Are you there?
Yes, Rich, I'm here. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Michael?
Good morning, everyone.
Again.
Yep.
Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about First General Services? Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. How many of you feel that as contractors, life is like a magic show, full of different acts and characters? I'm no magician, but I know why all of you are attending today's webinar, to make more money. But do you know why I'm here? I have 2 minutes to show you how First General can bring more sales to your business, translating into greater profits for you. As a CEO of First General, one of the leading property damage restoration networks in North America, I could go on and tell you that last year we repaired over $200 million of property damaged by water, sewage, fire, flooding, and high winds, and that we've been helping satisfied clients get on with their lives for over 30 years. But what I really want is the chance to explain to you how we can help you diversify and grow your business with quality work that can generate margins between 30 and 50%. Wouldn't you enjoy being in a year-round business, one that's recession-proof, one that's less competitive than the remodeling industry as a whole, where you are awarded more of the jobs you see, and with repeat business, where your payments are often guaranteed by an insurance company. Ask yourself, are you the kind of contractor employing a team of skilled craftsmen that can work in a fast-paced environment where quality and skill are needed to handle insurance companies, property managers, and homeowners after a crisis when their properties must be immediately restored? You need to consider First General and the extensive ongoing training we provide. We'll set you up and continue to mentor you to develop the skills that will let you take your business to the next level. Thanks for your attention, and I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Enjoy the rest of this great webinar.
Hey, thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. And just a couple things I want to point out, especially for those of you in the northern parts of the country. He said something just now that really struck a chord with me, because we're getting now into the winter months, and I cannot tell you, we've got, I don't know, I think about 110 clients that we work with in the home improvement industry right now. I can't tell you how many of them have made the comment to me recently, hey, we're going into our shutdown months where I'm in Texas right now, so we don't really have shutdown months, but if you're in the northern area and you shut down in the winter, I'm telling you, people's houses still burn down and flood and have all kinds of problems in the winter. That's a great opportunity, especially if you've got that kind of a situation. The opportunity with First General is fantastic. Go ahead and click on them during the poll at the end. And Michael, thanks again for participating and being a sponsor. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about home show success strategies. And I'm going to break this webinar into three sections. The first section is going to be some preliminary home show stuff. And some of the stuff I'm going to share with you in the beginning part, you might look at it and say, okay, well, this is kind of, you know, preliminary foundational stuff, and that's true. Stick with me through that. There's some good information there for you. If it seems like information that maybe you already know or is common sense, that's okay. It's going to be a short section. Hang with me. Get what you can out of it, because then I'm going to get into a section, number two. There's three sections. The second section is going to be called, it's this what I call the triple play strategy. And this is where the home runs are hit, even though it's a triple play strategy, to mix two baseball metaphors that don't really work well together. But I'm telling you, this sucker works, the triple play strategy. That's where we're going to spend most of our time. And then in the third segment, we're going to talk about some case studies. I'm going to show you how it works in real life. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Some preparatory kinds of stuff. First of all, obviously, decide what kind of shows that you want to attend, if any. And this is kind of a touchy subject because there's a lot more shows now. They're not necessarily attended as well. Either the attendance is just down or it's split between multiple shows. You got to decide where your booth is going to be located. It makes a big difference. What kind of staff you're going to have there, what kind of goals you have for the actual event, what your strategy is going to be. And like I said, I'm going to talk about the triple play strategy here today. Decide what your booth is going to look like. So let's talk about just deciding whether or not to attend. First thing you want to look at is how much is it going to cost. And this is just basic 101 kind of stuff. You got to take into account the space rental, the booth setup, giveaways, materials, all that kind of stuff. Multiply the number by 10 and see if you feel like there's a reasonable chance to get that much business. So it's going to cost you $2,000. You want to come out of there with $20,000 in business. If it's going to cost you $5,000, you want to come out with $50,000 in business. Now, it's a rule of thumb. Your numbers might be a little bit different, but think about it. And if you feel like that's possible based on your observation and investigation of a given show, then go for it. Here's a tip for you. If you haven't attended a show before, find some of the people that were there last year as exhibitors and call them and see what they think. Now, if you were there last year, you've already got that information. Here's some kinds of events to consider and some to avoid. I'm going to give you some real specific information here. So this is some of the kinds of stuff that you might want to attend. Bratwurst Festival, that's probably in Wisconsin. Honestly, in Texas, we don't have Bratwurst festivals. Strawberry festivals, gun shows, pumpkin festivals, golf shows, car shows, boat shows, these kinds of things. Now, let me make a real specific point here. I like, of course, home shows are obvious, but other events, like on this particular screen, here's a comment for you. Here's my observation based on talking to hundreds of remodelers and their experience. Events where people are there to look around at stuff, and the reason they are there is to look around at stuff, tend to be a good bet. Events where people are there for something else specific, like sporting events as a major category, tend to not be as good. Let me give you a horror story. I had a client that spent a ton of money to get a concourse level booth set up at Washington Wizards games in Washington, D.C. area. Monumental flop because people were paying $50, $100, $200, $300 a ticket to go to that game. The last thing they wanted to do after they got their beer and their hot dog was go talk to the guy about remodeling their house when they've paid a lot of money to watch that game. Now, if you're at the Popcorn Festival or the Hot Air Balloon Festival or Pumpkin Festival or the travel show, these are places where people are there specifically to wander around and look at stuff. So that's a better fit. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about different kinds of events. Let's talk about booth location. Here's the thing. The closer to the front, the better, period. And the reason, hopefully, is commonsensical. I'm talking specifically about shows where there's booths and they're lined up in rows. The further back you go, people just get fatigued. They just do, okay? They get tired. Their bags get full. They get deeper and deeper. They feel like they've already seen it. Maybe they see 2 or 3 other window companies before they even get to you. That's not what you want. It's worth paying a premium to get in the front, generally speaking. Okay, it's going to cost you more, so you just look at the extra cost. If it's $1,000 to be in a bad booth and it's $1,300 to be in a better booth, is it worth that extra $300? 300 times 10 is $3,000. You really need to get about $3,000 in extra sales. I think generally speaking, rule of thumb, okay, I think you can do that. Near food, you know, near the food court, maybe that's okay. If you put your booth near a large popular booth, like one of the major industry players where they've got a huge, you know, booth, real fancy, that might be good to be next to. Talk about your staffing needs. My opinion, it's better to have too many people than not enough, because the strategy that we're going to talk about, the triple play strategy, can be done in a non-staffed booth environment, okay? It can work, but it really works best when you've got people there to talk to people. I mean, this is common sense, you know that, but try to not go skimpy on this element, okay? Having enough people there. Make it an all-hands-on-deck affair. Get Sally from accounting and John from production, whatever. Get them to come out and help you out if you need it. Office staffers, yeah, they might enjoy the change. You know, they want to get out of the office anyway. Consider hiring families or friends to pinch hit if necessary, especially for you if you're a smaller company. Okay, don't be afraid to do that. Don't worry if you're overstaffed. Most of the time, it's the times when the rushes come, and you know, if you've ever worked in service, food service or something like that, or certainly if you've been to these events, you know that it sort of ebbs and flows, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to why people come now and there's no people there later. Make sure you have the people there, because it's important that you have people that can talk, okay? There's some scripts I'm going to show you later on. They're absolutely critical. They have to be memorized. They're not hard, but they have to be memorized. So I'll talk about those in a little bit. It's part of the triple play program, okay? Next, what is your objective? Are you trying to set appointments? That's what I recommend. Now, that sounds obvious to a lot of you, but I'm telling you, I've had lots of clients that are just there trying to gather leads, and I'm telling you, get appointments on the spot. I had one client in the Baltimore area. This guy had been going to home shows with some success for years, and I showed him our triple play strategy. I said, look, this is how you do it. And he said, wow, we're going to set appointments. We hadn't thought of that. And instead of getting a fistful of leads, they set I think it was 43 appointments. And he said, my gosh, this little teeny switch of mentality made a huge difference, okay? And the triple play program that I'm going to show you really facilitates setting appointments on the spot. So you don't have to really think about it as hard, because if you use the scripts, it's automatic, okay? There's a lot of now buyers at home shows. Get an online calendar for booking your appointments. I mean, iPads now, this is not that hard to do. Figure it out. Set a goal for how many appointments you want to get or how many contacts. Make it a contest or a game with your people there to see who can do the best. Make sure they're aggressive, okay? Not obnoxious. And I'm going to show you part of the triple play program is an easy way to talk to people. I can't wait to get to it. I'm just that excited about it, okay? Make sure you have a name capturing protocol in place. I'll show you how to do that. You know, a lot of these shows now are electronic, where people just scan their badge. I don't really like that. I like it because it's convenient and people can scan it, but here's what I want. I want people to fill something out. I'll show you what it is, because when they fill this something out that I'm going to show you, it gives us valuable intelligence on this prospect to let us know who they are and what they're interested in and where they're at in the buying cycle. So if they have a scannable thing, that's okay, but I really prefer what I'm going to show you here as part of this triple play program, okay? Part of your booth, part of your preparation is the booth setup. The first thing, it's got to be professional, okay? It's like online dating. That's what this little picture is here, eHarmony. You wouldn't put an ugly picture of yourself on online dating, would you? I really personally don't know. I've been married 22 years. I don't online date, but I've got friends that do. And you know what? You don't put an ugly picture of yourself on online dating. It's dumb. And you don't put an ugly booth out there when you're trying to attract thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars of business. It doesn't make any sense. Spend the money to make it look awesome, okay? Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. This is something that cannot be skimped on. You don't want to be looked at as the dinky guy, okay? You have to look the part. I always say this. You can't show up for a wedding wearing cut-off jean shorts and a T-shirt. It looks dumb. At least show up wearing a nice suit from Men's Warehouse, okay? So let's take a look. Does this instill confidence in people that walk by and they see Weather Armor custom retractable awnings and they see this kind of junk sitting at the booth? The answer is no. No, this does not instill confidence. This is not what you want to look like. I'll show you what you do want to look like here in a minute, but this is what you don't want to look like, all right? Let's talk about the triple play strategy. All that stuff we just went through, just a couple of minutes of preliminaries. Now we're going to get into the good stuff, okay? So there's 3 parts of this, hence triple play. Number 1 is identity, and I'll talk about what that is in just a second. Number 2, what we call the big bill and giveaway, and then 3 is follow-up. These are the 3 elements. I'll go through each of them in detail. Identity, big bill and giveaway, follow-up. Now, let me tell you this before I get into it. If you skip any of these, it's not going to work the way it's supposed to. You say, well, we're just going to do the big bill and the giveaway. Okay, you'll get some results, and it'll be better results than you probably normally get, but it's not going to work nearly as well as it should. Well, we're going to get an identity, but we're not going to use the big bill and the giveaway. We don't want to do a giveaway. Giveaways are dumb. We don't like giveaways. Okay, I'm telling you, you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. This program is proven. It works always. Okay, now I'll share this with you later. A company that didn't have success, and I'll tell you exactly why, and it's kind of a funny story. We'll get to that later. So let's start with step 1, set your foundation, identity. Now, if you've been on webinars with me before, you've heard me talk about identity infinity times. It's the main thing that I talk about, and the main reason that I talk about it all the time is because it's so absolutely freaking critical to everything you ever do in marketing. If you don't have identity, everything is going to be less than optimal, okay? So the triple play strategy it starts with identity. Your booth should be a reflection of your identity. What do you stand for? What can people expect when doing business with you? Why should they hire you instead of anyone else? What do you refuse to budge on? Communicate these things with power, precision, and passion. And this is now going to become the hub of all your marketing messages, including your home show, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a quick identity case study. This will be really quick so that you can understand this concept, so that when I show you the booth and the banner, you don't look at it and go, oh, okay, well, it's just a booth and a banner. It's not just a booth and a banner. It's a booth and a banner that means something based on this identity, okay? Everything hinges on this. Don't do this, and it's not going to work, okay? So let's go through the case study, remodeling company. You may have seen this before on a different webinar. When I go through some of the internet and web marketing, I talk about this. Here's the situation. It's a remodeling company in Portland, Oregon area. The guy's been in business for 25 years. He's really good at what he does. His customers love him. Fanatical need to get things done right for his clients. The guy's got OCD. He splits every single detail. He doesn't allow anything that's not exacting to happen on his watch. So the premise for his identity is, I'm a remodeler with exacting standards who will do every single thing right, okay? This is what this company stands for. Here was their website before I met them. That's me deflating right now because this is terrible. It doesn't, look, I met with this company on an identity consultation. Don Isaacson's the owner, Lori's his wife. They were both on the phone call, and I said, what makes you different? What makes you better? And he told me the things that were on the previous slide, right? Here, I'll go back. This is the things that he told me. And I quizzed him in detail. Well, what about, what do you mean you've got OCD? And he gave me examples of when they went 4 hours looking for just the right pull handle, when they took a crowbar and it took floors up off the ground because they weren't done the right way, and how he's got this exacting attention to detail. And I looked at his website and I said, Don, none of that stuff is in here. What's in here is a bunch of junk that says nothing. It sounds like Charlie Brown's mother talking to the children at Christmas time. Wah, 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 wah. It just doesn't, it's not good. It doesn't work. We strive to make your remodeling experience not just satisfactory, but to exceed your expectations, everybody expected you to say. I mean, it doesn't work. So we came in, we redid the website. It looks like this. This is, again, the topic is identity. We're going to get the home show stuff, but if you don't understand identity, then you're not going to understand how to do this home show stuff, okay? So persnickety, demanding, hard to please, picky, then I'm the remodeler for you. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the cheapest. I am, however, according to my customers, the best, okay? And this is the encapsulation of the identity. If you read the rest of this, if you look at the evidence that's on the right-hand side, if you read the text below, everything screams, we do things right. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the cheapest. I am, according to my customers, the best. Here's my cell phone number. Feel free to interrupt my dinner. Feel free to wake me up at 2 a.m. Feel free to make me leave home early from vacation, all based on real-life true stories. My only concern is your job is 100% perfect. Now, people read this, they see this, and they go, wow, this sounds like the kind of guy I want to do business with. It sounds like the kind of experience that I want to have. I want somebody that has this kind of attention to detail. Then we take it and we put it into as print ads. Are you anxious to get the job done, or are you anxious to get the job done right? I could honestly care if you have a list of 3 remodelers who are cheaper than me. We take a little longer, we cost a little more, but wait until you see the final product, okay? This is what we're talking about in terms of identity, okay? Postcards that they send out. I shut down the job site and discussed, ripped out the entire floor and started over again from scratch. Me and not done exactly right don't get along very well. If I have to choose between profit and perfection, I'll choose perfection every single time. Now, when you start talking like this, people start listening. When you have something definitive to talk about and say, people start to believe it, okay? This is what identity is. And we want to integrate it into the website. We want to integrate it into the marketing advertisements, the postcards. This is a pre-positioning email that would be sent out to somebody that had sent an appointment with us. But also, obviously, then, of course, what? Into the home show. Persnickety, demanding, hard to please, then I'm the remodeler for you. And then you see these banners that take these elements of the identity, ruin my vacation, interrupt my dinner, wake me up at 2 a.m. My only concern is your job is 100% perfect. Notice the branding is consistent through every marketing piece. I'm not saying that you have to put an 8-foot-tall picture of your face on your home show booth. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this. Whatever your identity is, and it's custom for every single company, it's absolutely different for you than it is for the company next to you, than it is for the company down the street and across the country. We work with clients to make sure that we understand exactly what their identity is, okay? And you'll see that throughout this webinar. We're not the fastest, we're not the cheapest. And here's what happens. When people walk by this, it captures them, it grabs them, and it makes them say, huh, that looks different, that looks interesting. And you know what, my friends, we're just getting started here, okay? This is a flyer. I'll show you more about this flyer. This is part of our Big Bill program, which is step 2 out of the Triple Play program. And again, it's the identity. Persnickety, demanding, hard to please, then I'm the remodeler for you. I'm not the fastest, I'm not the cheapest. I am, according to my customers, the best. Okay, so this is what the identity looks like in the home show. So again, one more slide, I'll go back. This is what the booth and the banners would look like. This is what the handout that we'll talk about in detail in a minute looks like at the show. So we take the identity, we put it into the home show, and the flyers and the mailers, and everything that this company does is based around this identity, okay? If you don't have an identity, it's really hard to have effective marketing, whether it's any of these things. It's just not going to work as well, okay? Now, let me show you some examples of home shows from other clients. This one says, looking for great windows without all the sales pressure, then call the window nerd. And there's a giveaway. We'll talk about the giveaway in a minute. Instant quote right now on replacement windows, right here, right now, the window nerd. Don't worry too much about this guy's identity. You can go, if you want to know more about this company, go to thewindownerd.com. You'll see all about it, okay? This is one for a closet company. We've installed over 4,300 closets in Memphis since 1994. We always insist on doing every job exactly right. No flimsy hardware, no cheap fiberboard, no cheesy laminates, no prefab kits. The definition of identity is to concisely and immediately communicate with power, precision, and passion who you are, how you're different, why you're better, and what people can expect when doing business with you. And I would suggest to you that what we're looking at on the screen right now, absolutely, positively, no argument necessary, does exactly that, okay? This is identity. This is a home show. Now, these are kind of mocked up to show you what they look like in the actual booth. This is just the artwork. High quality, total bathroom remodeling, in and out and done in just 3 days. All products 100% guaranteed for life, period. This is for rebath, complete bathrooms, vanities, different kinds of things that they do. Some of the side banners, 2 ways to remodel your bathroom, the hard way or the rebath way. And then it talks about those in a little bit more detail. 5 weeks of agony, pain, and inexpensive, or 3 to 5 days of easy, pain-free, and affordable. We're setting the tone for our stress-free remodeling identity. Here's a couple of others. Now, they wouldn't necessarily have all of these at the show, but we created these for the Rebath Network, and they have the ability to pick and choose which ones they want. Faster and easier than full tub and tile replacement, higher quality and better looking than liners, high quality bathroom remodeling that's in and out and done in just 3 days. And the same kind of thing on the one to the right, okay? So that's step number 1 is identity. Hopefully that's crystal clear to you, at least the concept. If you've been on webinars with me before, you should be putting a checkbox mentally next to the idea of identity. Now, let's talk about engagement, getting people at the show to actually flipping pay attention to you, okay? The big bill and giveaway is the ticket. This is step 2 of the Triple Play program. Now, before we get into step 2, we're going to take a moment. I got to take a break. I'm sweating. I feel it's like 20 degrees outside, even in Texas, and I feel like I've just run a marathon. So I'm going to take a break, and we're going to hear from 3 of our sponsors. Now, this particular sponsor, Gutter Covers International, is not with us on the call today. Tony Michaels, the representative, is having some health challenges, and he's out recovering. But I'm going to cover for him today. Here's what you need to know about Gutter Covers International. First of all, there's like 39 different gutter cover companies. We have one as a sponsor. And let me tell you why. Not because they're the one that came and said, here's a check, we want to be a sponsor. It's because I talked to Tony Michaels and Tony Iannelli, who's the owner of the company, and they told me something that it was hard to believe at first because I would never expect an owner of a company like this to say it. They said, we have a product that is awesome. I expected that. But it doesn't work in every situation. So Tony Iannelli, the owner, have invented other gutter cover products to fill in the gaps where our main product, which is called Gutter Topper, doesn't work as well. I said, really? Because all the other companies, all they ever say is our product does everything and it's perfect and it always works. It's not true. Different kinds of situations need different kinds of solutions. Their Gutter Topper product accounts for about, I think, 80 or 90% of their sales. But that other 10 to 20% is really critical that there's a solution that works. And they've got 5 different products. They've got the Needle Beetle, the Ultimate Solution. Go to guttercoversinternational.com. You'll see all about it. And this company, if you want to talk about high character, upstanding people, this is who you want to be doing business with, okay? Now, that's true for all of our sponsors. I know these people personally. They're not just people that said, hey, we want to be a sponsor. I know these folks, but I'm telling you, I know Tony Iannelli, and this is the kind of people you want to be doing business with. Now, let's go to the next one, which is Guild Quality. And, hey, let me tell you something. I am super, super excited about this. This is a brand new sponsor of ours. They've been a sponsor for just now. This is the first webinar that they've been on. But I've been talking to them for the better part of a year. And the reason is because we've wanted an affiliation with a good online review company, and boy, I tell you what, in Guild Quality, we have found that. Now, I've got Erica. Erica, are you on the line?
I am. Hey, Rich.
Okay, Erica England is here with us from Guild Quality. She's going to take just a minute and tell us about the service, and then I'm probably going to say a little bit more because I'm really excited about this. But Erica, go ahead and talk to us.
That's great. We're excited too. You know, we all want to separate ourselves from the pack and stand out as the leaders of our industry, but it's sort of difficult sometimes to effectively promote your company's quality. Well, our company enables you to use the feedback from your clients as a compelling differentiator online, in the home, and even at home shows. On your behalf, we reach out to your customers and gather their feedback regarding your performance. This helps you to identify areas you may need to dedicate more resources to, and also what areas your company is excelling in. We understand that in your industry, your reputation strongly influences customers. Our full suite of marketing tools helps your business to capture authentic customer reviews, share your customer testimonials on popular social media sites, and ultimately strengthen your company's credibility. Now, the best way to experience our service firsthand is to actually sign up for a free trial. So if you're interested, feel free to visit our website, guildquality.com, and sign up.
Okay, thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. And just like I said, Erica, we're kind of new here together, but you'll quickly learn. I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut. So number one, if you're not using online reviews on your website, that's just dumb. Okay, it's 2013. It's almost 2014. This is not optional at this point. You have to do it. Number two, free trial. Go sign up on guildquality.com. It's a no-brainer. If you want more information, either go to the web address that's on the screen, or you can call the number and talk to Erica and her colleagues, or you can choose on the poll at the end of the webinar that you'd like more information. So that being said, Erica, I appreciate you being with us as a sponsor and having you personally on the call today. Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much, Rich.
Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is go to our last sponsor for this webinar, and this is MarketSharp. And you know what, MarketSharp has been a sponsor of mine since 2005. It only feels like 20 years instead of 9 years, but Tim Mush is on the line with us. Let me see if I can get you live. Tim, are you there?
I'm here, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, let me just tell you something about Tim. Tim has been a sponsor of Monopolize Your Marketplace since 2005, and I've watched their product, MarketSharp, go from being something that was awesome to being something that is even, I don't know, what's a better word than awesome? Because now it's it's completely web-based. They've added so many features and services that the power from this product is unreal. Tim's going to share with you a couple of things. He can't go through everything because we don't have that much time on the webinar. He's going to give you a little bit of an idea of how this could work in conjunction with Home Show. So go ahead, Tim.
All right, why don't you advance the next slide, Rich? Just a couple things. Go to the next one, too. A couple things kind of come to mind as it relates to home shows. And there's really three initiatives, kind of like Rich's triple play. These don't match up identically, but I think there's three initiatives. First off, driving traffic to your booth pre-show, then getting contact info during the show, and then, of course, follow-up. So let's briefly talk about a couple of those things, give you some ideas of how you can do it. First off, this is something many people don't think of. You got a show or event set up, you got people in the area that maybe you've had a past relationship with, a past lead, a past customer. How about using that database and invite them to your booth? So here's an example of a postcard that goes out that says, hey, come on over. In fact, you might win something. And each one of these cards has a number on it if you want to do that, and they can match the number when they come into the booth, and you got the booth number there. Just a very simple thing. Send it out to your past leads, to your past customers, even maybe a radius around the location of the show. Let's go to the next slide, Rich, and let's talk next about getting contact info. This is always a problem, and I think you're going to talk about this in a little bit, Rich, about the ideal form. A lot of people are also using things like iPads, to get contact info. And with MarketSharp, you can directly take information that's entered into an iPad. If you have a web page developed and just access it from an iPad, you can put in the contact info right at the show, directly goes into MarketSharp, immediately sends out an email to these people. So imagine them walking around the show, and on their mobile phone, they get an email from you because they just stopped by your booth. And it just initiates the whole follow-up process automatically just by them entering your information on an iPad or a similar device at a show.
Let me interject. That's awesome. Keep going.
All right. Let's talk about follow-up. And this is the big one. I saw a statistic recently that talks about 50% of home show leads or event leads never get followed up on. So again, just use your database, turn data into dollars, take these contacts you get at the show, and get something out. Here's a follow-up example. We call it second prize. So oftentimes you might have a sweepstakes or a giveaway. Not all of you do, but if you do, this works great. This works great. It's just a direct mail piece that goes out like on a little check mailer. That's the graphic on the top there. And it might have a savings certificate. So the idea of this is, hey, thanks for stopping by our booth. You didn't win first prize. John Jones did. But you were one of our second prize winners, which is $300 off any purchase of $2,000 or more. And then that little voucher comes through with a check, and it's just something they have in their hand. Next slide will show the same thing, only by email. So you can accomplish the same thing with email to follow up. And going to the next slide, I think, really talks about what we're all about here. And what that is how about automating your follow-up activities? You should do that company-wide, but certainly with your home show activities and event activities too. Have something set up that when this lead comes in from this event or show, it triggers a sequence of a number of things, maybe an email, maybe a direct mail piece, maybe a phone call here and there, and then just automate it. It's called nurture marketing. And with technology like MarketSharp, you can do that with one mouse click and attach these activities just to that individual. So next slide, we'll wrap up here. Really what this is all about, we think there's an app for all this stuff plus more. Of course, it's MarketSharp. Going to the next slide, we'll give you just a couple ideas how it looks. Works with 3 groups of people: prospects, leads, and customers. And the final slide will just have a couple of the benefits that it has, similar to what we talked about here today, but it does a lot more. Tracks all sorts of stuff, keeps your production in check, your service, generates leads for you, follows up on all your unsold leads, manages your customers, repeat business, referrals, all the good stuff. So with that, just check us out at marketsharp.com or give us a call at the number on screen now, or later on in the webinar as you have an opportunity to let Rich know what sponsors you're interested in. Just go ahead and check us. And man, you've assembled a great group of sponsors with great services, Rich. So I think you got a great thing going. So thanks for the time here. We'll get back to you.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. And yet, you know what? You're right. We do have a great set of sponsors, and we've handpicked them. And with your help, in some cases, Tim, thank you for that. To complement the things that we do at Monopolize Your Marketplace, you know, we offer a lot of marketing services. I'll talk about some of those a little bit later. But we have surrounded ourselves with service providers that have things and services available that do complement very well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get back into the Triple Play program. And this is kind of where the rubber hits the road. We talked about identity, which was the foundation. On your screen right now, there's a picture of a pyramid. That was the yellow foundational element. You have to do it. If you don't do it, everything else doesn't work nearly as well. But let's talk about the big bill and the giveaway. This is the tactic. The key here is getting people to talk to you. The number one problem people have is just getting someone at the show to talk to you, right? Here's what happens. You know what it's like. You've been to these shows as a participant, not as an exhibitor. Just think about a show that you've been to, and you walk down that aisle and you do everything in your power to not make eye contact with the people at the booth because you don't want to get into a conversation with everybody. So it's kind of this awkward, weird thing. So here's what people do normally. They use the old tricks, but they don't work that well anymore. The candy bowls, pens, keys, you know, what do they call this? Tchotchkes, right? Stacks of brochures. Hey, we got a stack of brochures. You interested? It just doesn't work that well. Everyone's trying to avoid eye contact, and you know, just sitting there is not going to work. So this becomes a problem of how do we even get in to talk to people? You know, here we got the lady that's just kind of sitting there talking, or she's just sitting there, she's not talking to anybody. Here we've got people that are sitting behind their little desk, and they're hoping and waiting that somebody's going to come by and talk to them. You know, this just encourages people to keep walking. This is not what we're trying to accomplish, okay? So let's go to the Triple Play strategy, part 2, giveaway and big bill. We recommend a home improvement giveaway. Now, some of you, that's going to turn you off, and you're going to say, well, I don't want to do a giveaway. Hear me out before you say no, because here's the thing you need to understand. The giveaway is a means to an end. We're not giving something away because we're excited about it, because, hey, this is the thing we want to revolve our entire marketing program around. It's because it gives us a good opportunity to talk to people both at the show and after, after the show. So let's get into a little more details here. Create a big bill for the giveaway amount. So your giveaway amount should probably be a minimum of $5,000. I mean, if you do a $1,000 home improvement giveaway, that just doesn't sound that cool. $5,000. A lot of our clients do $10,000. Some will even do $20,000. Bar none, the big bill, and I'm going to show you what the big bill is here in just a second. It's the best interrupter on the planet. I'm telling you, this thing is like freaking gold. It is awesome. Let me show you in just a second. Stops people cold in their tracks, gives you a natural tie into the giveaway. And what I'm talking about with a big bill, I'm talking about an oversized dollar bill that is printed to the amount of your giveaway. So if you got a $5,000 giveaway, it's a $5,000 bill, or a $10,000 giveaway is a $10,000 bill, and we print them up in the size of 17 inches wide by 7.3 inches tall. Now this allows it to be the same dimensions of a regular dollar, so it doesn't look kind of weird or out of kilter, okay? And then we're going to use qualification questions to steer the conversation towards an appointment. So I'm going to show you the big bill in just a second, but let me tell you how the giveaway works real quick, and then we'll tie it all together. First, we do a giveaway, not a sweepstakes. And the reason we don't do sweepstakes, and you might be saying, well, what's the difference? There's no difference. The difference is a sweepstakes sounds like something that a zillion people enter for a trip to Hawaii, but nobody that you've ever heard of or met actually wins it. A giveaway is something that people could actually have a chance of winning. You only have to give something away once a year. You don't have to give it away all the time after every show. You can milk one giveaway for multiple shows or events. I recommend one giveaway per year. Allocate the cost of the giveaway to your marketing budget. So if it's a $5,000 giveaway, that's going to probably cost you about $2,500. That's what, $400 a month? No, excuse me, $200 a month. It's not that bad. Grand prize winner is a small part of the strategy. The real purpose is to contact everyone else and offer them something. So this is going to give us a chance to talk to people on the front end, at the home show, and on the back end. Let me show you this thing. Okay, so this is what a big bill looks like. This is a $20,000 bill, but let me show you what it looks like in contrast to a regular dollar bill. Okay, here's a $10,000 and a $5,000 bill. We can create any kind of bill you want, but look how big it is relative to a regular $1 or $5 or $10 bill or whatever dollar bill. It's ginormous. This thing has tremendous stopping power. Okay, so on the back of the bill, guess what we put? We put a flyer that has, guess what? Your identity on it. We have your identity. High quality total bathroom remodeling in and out in just 3 days. Or persnickety, demanding, hard to please, then I'm the remodeler for you. So we're going to be showing them the identity on the booth. We're going to be talking to them about the identity when we talk to them, and we're going to be giving them the identity in the flyer that's on the back of the big bill. There's a reason 4,300 families have trusted Incognito since '94. We always insist on doing every job exactly right. This should sound familiar to you by now because you've seen these booths, and this is just an extension of that identity. Looking for great windows without all the sales pressure, then call the window nerd. Fact, I know as much about his windows as anyone on earth. Fact, sales situations make me really uncomfortable. Result, you get the best windows without the dog and pony show. And then it talks about how they do business, okay? Now, let me show you the script for using the big bill. What you do is you take the big bill. Where's my big bill? I like to hold mine when I'm talking on this call. So I've got a $10,000 bill in my hand right now. You take it and you put it bill side up, okay? Money side up. I'm telling you, this thing is massive, and you extend it to a passerby. Instead of sitting there going, hey, would you like to buy a bathroom? Hey, you interested in windows? You take the bill, you extend it, and here's what you say. I'd like to give you $10,000. The people look at that and they go, huh, interesting. What you're trying to accomplish is you're trying to break that awkward wall that is keeping them from talking to you, and you're trying to get them to just engage in a conversation. Or you could say this, would you like to enter to win our $10,000 home remodeling giveaway as you extend? Now, there's something magic. I can't show this to you on a webinar. If we were in a seminar, I'd show it to you. Here's what happens. If you take something like a 17-inch $10,000 bill and you extend it to somebody towards their hand, their instinct reflex reaction is to grab it and to take it. Boom, we've got a connection. If they say yes, then hand them an entry form or lead them over to the table, and then you want to start asking them the qualification questions. And you have to memorize these, and I'll show you qualification questions in just a second. This is critical. You cannot do this. You got to do it this way, okay? Set appointments if possible. Make notes on the entry form as appropriate. I'll show you the entry form. Let's talk about the qualification questions. We use these to determine their desire, interest, and urgency. Now, to many of you, this will seem pretty commonsensical, but I'm telling you, you need to script these so that your people who are probably not you can actually pull this off, okay? Let me give you an example for windows. Hey, would you like $10,000? Yeah, we've got a $10,000 window giveaway. Here, fill this out. Let me ask you a question. How old is your home? Are the windows original to the house? Do you know what material they're made from? Are they aluminum or wood or vinyl? What specifically about your windows don't you like? Do you think your energy bills are too high? Are you just starting the process of looking into this? Have you ever had a contractor give you a bid on new windows before? Do you have any idea how much good windows should cost? Now, here's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just blaze through these questions. Dadgummit, we're going to ask these questions, and you're going to give me an answer. What we're doing is we're looking for interest. We're looking for urgency. We're looking for people that have a genuine interest. If they have it, then we move on to an appointment setting dialogue. If they don't have it, well, then we can have them just fill out the form for the giveaway. Now, let's go through one more set. This is bathroom remodeling. How old is your home? Is your bathroom original to the home? How long is it since it's been remodeled? What about your bathroom specifically don't you like? How long have you been thinking about doing something like this? What's been holding you back from doing something? Do you have had any contractors take a look? Do you feel like you know what you want, or do you feel like you need input on the design. Okay, and then we give them this form to fill out. And this form is critical that it looks this way. Okay, now you can have a different design, but there's some critical things on here. Here's what's critical. Obviously, we've got the name, address, and all that kind of stuff there. But here's the key. On the right-hand side, my dream project is, and then they have an opportunity to check off what their dream project is. And then they have an opportunity to check off, yes, I'd like to get a quote on a project. Now notice, there's no checkbox for no, I don't want to get a quote. That's because we don't want people to have that option to say no, because we're going to use this later on for people that we haven't set appointments at the show. We're going to use this later on to call them back. And if they've checked off no and we call them, then we look like a jerk. So we give them an opportunity. Now, look down here at the bottom of this. It says A, B, C, D, and E. This is where we rate the prospect. There's 5 different ratings. Rating number 1, and you just check it off right there. This is going to make sorting out the leads infinitely easier after the show, okay? And specifically after every day of the show, you want to go through and sort your leads. An A lead is somebody that you set an appointment with right there on the spot. We've got their information right here on this card. We filled it out. Boom. The appointment has been set. It's in our calendar. A B lead is somebody that tells you, yes, I'm interested. I want to set an appointment, but maybe I don't know my calendar. I need to speak to my wife. I got to look at, when the football games are, whatever the case is. These are people that you will call immediately because they've told you, I want to set an appointment. You just have to call them to set it. C leads. C leads are people that have checked off, yes, I'd like to get a quote on a project, but for whatever reason, you haven't set it. Now, one of the major reasons that you might not have set the appointment is maybe somebody filled this form out when they weren't talking to an actual person. Maybe your booth was crowded, or maybe it's not even a home show. Maybe you've got a display at the mall or some other event, and somebody fills this form out and they check off that they'd like a quote, but you haven't actually talked to them. This is a really, really good lead. This is somebody that you want to follow up with when? Today, right away. So that's a C lead. A D lead is somebody that filled out the form, checked off what their dream project is, but they didn't check that they wanted an appointment. Now, this is a lower quality lead. Doesn't mean that these people won't buy or won't buy immediately or won't buy at some point in the future, but here's what we know. They haven't checked off that they want an appointment. So we prioritize them a little bit lower. And then an E lead is somebody that doesn't check off any dream project. They just filled out, hey, I want to win. They didn't even tell us what their project was, or maybe they had a fake name, maybe throw that away, okay? So that's what the A, B, C, D, E is. It says they're lit next to that. That's just literature. If you handed them some literature, make a note so you know what they got. The appointment, the rep, that gives you a chance to keep track of, if you set an appointment when or what the situation was, make some notes, okay? So this is what the form looks like every single time. Now, also, literature at the show. One of the things I recommend, have reports and contractor standards guide on hand. Now, if you've been with me before and you've heard me talk about pre-positioning, then you know what this stuff is. If you haven't been with me before, I'll just give you a real brief description. Product reports are reports that show people about the product they're interested in, whether it's gutter protection or remodeling or windows, siding, whatever the case is. Contractor standards guide is about a 20-page guide that we put together to show people how you what kind of standards you hold as a contractor. I would personally not give these away at the show. I would laminate them and mark them show copy, do not remove. If you don't normally print your reports out or your contractor standards guides out, now these are reports that we put together for our clients, but a lot of our clients don't print them out because they just email them. But I would recommend printing out and maybe comb binding or some kind of what am I trying to say here? Quick copy type binding for the show. But put show copy, do not remove. You don't want people stuffing it in the bag and then forgetting about it later. Tell them you'd be happy to send them a copy. You don't want your stuff just getting stuck in the junk bag, okay? You can give out identity-based brochures. I'll show you an example of that when we get to the case studies here in just a minute. So here's just quickly, contractor standards guide, home remodeling design idea guide, 20 ideas to spark your imagination, compliments of Revive Remodeling. Here's one that we put together. We've got guides for every major product category that you can think of, okay? So let's get to step 3, even more leads. So step 1, triple play was foundation, was identity, and then number 2, the big bill and the giveaway. Number 3 is the follow-up. So we're going to call A, B, and C prospects immediately to set or confirm appointments. D prospects, we're going to use the first prize script. We're going to call them, offer them a gift card of reasonable value, use the script I'll show you the script on the next slide. It puts the prospect in a good mood. It makes them less likely to hate you because you're calling them, right? And you're going to use the qualification questions again, okay? So let's take a look. It's a non-threatening, easy script. I was calling you about the free $10,000 remodeling giveaway that you registered for at the home show last week. Do you remember that? The grand prize drawing won't be held till the 4th of July, but we did hold a first place drawing after the show, and I'm calling you to let you know that you were chosen as a winner. Now, this is a little bit different than what Tim said. I prefer to call these people first prize winners as opposed to grand prize winners, okay? The grand prize was $10,000. The first prize is a gift card for $500 good towards any project. Now, that amount can be any amount you want it to be. It can be $500, it can be $1,000, it can be a $1,000 gift card that's good for 10% off up to $1,000, whatever you want. I just need to verify your address, and I'll mail the gift card to you, and then you verify their address, which is on the card that you're calling from. Now, let me tell you something. This works a lot better than, hey, I got your name at the home show. I'm calling to see if I could help you be interested in anything. Hey, we're going to have a guy in your neighborhood. We're wondering if we could stop by and have an appointment with you. Those don't work very well. This works well. We're calling them, we're telling them they're a winner, and we're giving them an opportunity to set an appointment. Continued. I see they indicated your dream project would be a new kitchen. Is that right? Where did we get that information? Well, it's right there checked off on the form. Then we go into qualification questions. Then we talk about identity. I don't know if you're aware or not, but and then we tell them what our identity is. But our Mr. Isaacson, the owner of this company, is the most persnickety remodeler in all of Portland. Did you know that? Yeah, he's OCD. He does everything exactly right the first time. We always give 2 bids. Now, these are just some different things that you might want to put, whatever your identity is, okay? I'd be willing to set an appointment to meet. If you'd be willing to set an appointment to meet with our rep, I'm authorized to raise the first prize gift card amount from $500 to $1,000. What we're trying to do is set the appointment here, okay? Now, we script all of this out. It's all in writing so that you can read it. You can give it to your people. You can train them on it. It shows you how to, every script, when you meet them at the show, what to say at the show, what to say after the show. This is all part of our triple play package that we give to our customers as a part of our home show package, okay? Gift cards can be created. Notice that these gift cards look nice. They have a professional look to them. And then we've got a letter that you can send out. If you call them on the phone, you get a hold of them, great. You can email this, like Tim said. You can mail it out to them. I prefer literally attaching a gift card to the letter. It works better, okay? After the show, Hopper System. Hopper System is just following up via mail and email. Anybody that doesn't set an appointment right away, continue to work with them. Assign them different levels. Email only for less interested people. You might want to mail and email people who seem more interested but that don't necessarily buy. There's business to be mined out of these leads if you'll be disciplined and continue to follow up, okay? So let's move to the last section here before we end up. Here's what's going to happen now as we go into the final stretch. Number 1, I'm going to go show you some case studies of how this works, okay? Number 2, I'm going to show you some ways that you can do business with Monopolize Your Marketplace and take and actually use this in your business right away. And then number 3, I'm going to do the poll, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me what sponsors you might be interested in, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to request the free audio CD from Monopolize Your Marketplace. So that's where we're at right now. And then the very last thing I'll do is I'll take some questions from you. So if you'll stay tuned for that, I'll be taking questions. We'll be getting to that in about 10 minutes or so, okay? So this is a company called Lone Star Property Solutions. This is one of 2 clients that actually are here in our home market of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is the brochure that Kathy, the owner, was using before she met Monopolize Your Marketplace. Now, this is a trifold brochure, and it's flattened out, so you're going to have to kind of imagine folding it. The guy on the right-hand side that's smiling, he's what would be normally on the front of the brochure. The middle panel that is white on your screen is normally what would be on the back of the brochure, and then the purple would be folded to the inside. Are you with me on that? From complete remodels to special project and handyman jobs, we've got you covered. That's what they were saying. It's not identity-based. It's just sort of this, hey, we're a company that does this stuff. Our mission to enhance the quality of life, give you back your time, and free you from concerns in updating your valuable property. 5 reasons to call Lone Star: convenient, timely communication, reliable. I know you might think this sounds like an identity, but I'm telling you, this sounds more like Charlie Brown's mother. These are platitudes. These are things that are not stated in a powerful, passionate, precise way, so they lose interest, they lose power when you say them to people like this. People expect you to say convenient, timely communication, reliable. If you go to the other side of this brochure, it's got a big picture of a kitchen. Let us help you with your design project. And then there's a list of things that they do on that panel with, of course, a phone number and a web address at the bottom, okay? This is their pre-existing brochure, just to kind of give you a feel for what this company does. It doesn't look bad. It looks fine, but it really wasn't getting the job done. This is what their home show looked like before we got involved. They had a little sign that said Lone Star Property Solutions, bathroom, kitchen, project design. They had some samples out. They had the little curtains around the table and some samples, and it just was another not that great looking home show booth. Now, here's what we came up with for them when we went through the identity consultation, because this company really has an eye for design. And here's what it says. Most remodelers are order takers. They say, tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. I'll guide you through an exhilarating brainstorming session where I'll pick your brains, throw out tons of ideas, show you dozens of materials, and help you discover what you really want. From the first meeting to the final walkthrough, my main concern is that you'll love the end result. This is the identity. Is it fairly obvious what you can expect when doing business with this client? And the answer, of course, is yes, it is. This is the identity. This goes into their website, and you can see this if you go to Lone Star Property Solutions, okay? Now, how do we integrate this into the home show? Well, first of all, we put together a brochure. Same thing. If you look at the front now, it doesn't have the man smiling anymore. It says remodeling that makes you say, wow. We'll pick your brain, infuse it with ideas, and help you discover exactly what you want. And at the bottom, complete remodels, real estate, home prep, handyman, and more. We've got a list of things that they do on the back now, from total remodeling to real estate, home prep to handyman services. It's the same list. They want that list on there. And then we've got the Lone Star Advantages on the purple one that folds in. Now, let me show you what happens on the inside of this now. Same photo of the beautiful kitchen, but now we continue with the identity discussion. From the first meeting to the final walkthrough, my main concern is that you'll love the end result. Updating your dream in real time, even if it takes a little longer. We specialize in even better than I imagined. Let's get started. All estimates are free. And then we've got pictures there below the main picture that shows the different things that they do, so people get a feel that they have this wide variety of things. So this is the brochure that's based on the identity, which is also based on what we put on the website. Now, let's put it into the home show. This is the backdrop. This is 10 feet wide by 8 feet tall. Doesn't look like it on your screen, but it is. Remodeling. The reason we put the word remodeling at the top is because we want people to instantly know remodeling, okay? We'll pick your brain, infuse it with ideas, and help you discover exactly what you want. We specialize in even better than I imagined, and then it's got some of the services with, of course, some photos. Then we put some side banners up. Let us help you unleash your inner design genius. Most remodelers are order takers. We are dream makers. And when people see this along with the main backdrop, it's a whole different feeling. The identity just blasts through and grabs people and shakes them a little bit, and they say, wow, this is awesome. Okay, we've got the $10,000 home remodeling giveaway, guaranteed local winners. Register right now. This is the big bill on the back of it, right? So they got a $10,000 bill, and on the back it says most remodelers are order takers. They say, tell me what you want, I'll make it happen. I'll guide you through an exhilarating brainstorming session. It's the same thing, right? Same thing that we saw before. This is their identity. It's in all of the materials. Gift card. Let us help you unleash your inner design genius. $500 gift card from Lone Star Property Solutions. You see how it's all branded together. Now, they had a really small booth at the home show in Fort Worth in February and then again in August. You see the big backdrop. You see the stand-up pop-up banners like I just showed you. The $10,000 bills. Let me tell you what happened. Normally they get about 15 to 20 leads from home shows. Here's some quotes from Kathy Fleck, the owner. This is from before. Most people walked right by, didn't want to stop and talk. We felt like we had to either be pushy or let them walk right on by. Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah. Our identity sets the pace for everything we do now. Everything is the reason clients choose me over competitors. February 2013, they got 60 leads, did $122,000 in sales. Their best home show by a margin of over triple. It's called triple play because there's 3 elements to it. Remember, identity, and then the big bill and giveaway, and then the follow-up. But it's also called triple play because it'll triple your results. I'm not flipping kidding you. It'll triple your results. It'll triple your results, okay? February 13, August 2013, 50 leads, $65,000 in sales. They've still got 6 pending deals. Now, total cost for the booth was $1,500. Many clients didn't even shop around the home show. They found her, they saw her booth, and they went, wow, this is who I want to do business with, and they worked with them. It's just that easy, folks. This is the real McCoy. It works exactly like I'm telling you. Here's another example. This is a client that sells windows and siding and roofing and things like that. This guy, on his identity, it says, I've taken my 20-plus years of experience in the home improvement industry, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and established the ultimate, do whatever it takes, quality-first, customer-friendly remodeling company. Get ready to experience the exact opposite of Murphy's Law. With us, whatever can go right will go right. And then you see in the middle there, Coastals treat you like family articles of faith. If you do 99 things right and 1 thing wrong, then the job was just plain wrong. Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Fair, reasonable prices don't just earn you customers, they earn you friends. If people trust you enough to hire you, then return the favor by refusing payment until after the job is substantially complete. Take full credit when you do something well, shoulder the blame when you don't. We're not the cheapest, we're not the fastest, we're just the best. This is the identity. We take this, we put it into the home show backdrop, the do whatever it takes, quality first, no sales pressure, lifetime warranty, remodeling company. $5,000 giveaway. Coastal windows and exteriors treat you like family articles of faith. There they are again. I've taken the best of the best of my 20-plus years in home improvement and created a truly exceptional company. David Vanderbilt, owner. You can see there's a picture of Stephanie and David Vanderbilt, the owners of the company, right there on the pop-up brochure. This is called identity. What goes on the back of the big bill? Same thing. There's no mystery here. Gift cards, same thing, okay? This is before it was set up, just some of the things, just so you can see. This is the best picture I could get, but it shows you what this stuff looks like in real life. What happened? Well, they normally get about 30 leads from home shows. Hard to stand out from so many window companies. Does that sound familiar? Our identity now sets us apart as the main factor in our home show success. February